Today in our 2012 Chevrolet Colorado, we're going to be taking a look at and installing the Access TonnoSport Roll-Up Tonneau cover. Part number A22020249. As you can see, the tonneau cover gives us a great low profile design. It's designed only to stick up about a ½ inch over our factory side rail. And unlike older tonneau covers of the soft nature that had the ribs that kind of stuck up, gave it a little bit of that covered wagon look, we've completely gone away with those. We're going to have a nice, sleek, flat look. This is going to improve your aerodynamics, maybe give you a boost in fuel economy, and certainly secure anything inside of your bed. There's a locking latch right inside that prevents opening of the tonneau cover when the tailgate's closed. This tailgate has a lock on it, so once that's locked, we would secure anything in the bed of our vehicle. As you can see, when it's open, we've got a nice storm flap that goes all the way across the back. It's going to help with that dirt, debris, stuff like that flowing in and out. The same exact thing also appears in the front to protect that front side as it comes through. On each side, we're going to have two black plastic sliding locks. Once we have those in, it's just as easy as pulling on the black tab there. As you can see, that's going to release our bed. Now the side rails and our cross rails are all aluminum construction, so corrosion's not going to be an issue. The same thing applies to our clamps that hold it in place. All the way down the side, we've got a nice hook and loop closure, and there are also weather seals that go all the way along the side rails to, again, help that dirt and debris and stuff like that from getting inside to our cargo area. You'll see here the cross rails. They're a nice heavy-duty aluminum, so they're going to stand up to the test of time. We're not going to have any kind of bowing or sagging as we go. The cover rolls up in seconds to allow full use of your bed. The front will have a nice strap. This is going to secure our tonneau cover in its rolled up position. We can tension that down to hold it in place. The adjusters are important. These are going to maintain the proper tension on the top of the cover. It's going to do a couple things. It's going to extend the life of it, which is important. It's going to reduce the noise that we might get from it and also improve the looks. Now when we're ready to use it, we're simply going to roll it out, bring it around our latches here in the rear, press down, and then slide in our locks. We'll then of course come to the sides and just kind of stretch it out as we secure that hook and loop. As you can see there, it's nice and secure. We're ready to head down the road. The tonneau is going to offer a simple bolt-in installation. All hardware is going to be included. The durable polyester mesh cover is going to retain its shape and it won't fade. The black fabric is UV protected to withstand any kind of sun exposure. The tailgate remains fully functional even when our cover is closed. Now this is what we're going to get whenever we receive our package. We'll have our left side and our right side rail. We're going to have the cover that's pre-rolled for us. We'll have 4 clamps, that's what holds our side rails to the vehicle. We'll have our 2 adjustment knobs, that's for the tension. We'll have our instructions. We're going to have 2 short nuts and bolts. Then we'll have a longer bolt with the flat washer on it. Now the tools that you're going to need are really simple. You're going to need a 1/2 inch wrench or a 1/2 inch ratchet. Whether it's a standard or a deep well won't matter too much. And then just a simple little spring clamp. This is just to kind of help hold our side rails in place. To begin our installation, we'll take the driver's side rail and we're going to want to fit it in right up along the side rail of our truck. We'll use our clamp here in the back. That's just to hold it temporarily for us and allow us to come up here to the front and work pretty freely. We're now going to take one of our clamps and position it to where it bites both our side rail and our bed rail. There are little grooves designed in. Those grooves are going to match up with the grooves that are in our side rail. Now we're going to slide our clamp as far forward as we can. And we'll just tighten down our 2 nuts that are on there. Now you do want to verify that the grooves in the clamp are lined up with the grooves on the cover rail. Looking good. And then we'll tighten our clamp on down. We now bring our rear clamp in and do the same thing. Slide it up so our teeth engage nicely, and then bring it back as far as possible. Here in the rear, we're not going to have quite the room we did in the front, so it's not going to be all the way at the back like the front one is. And just like on the other one, make sure that your teeth are in line. They're lined up with the grooves, and we want the top edge of our side rail to be sitting even with the top edge of the truck. And as long as those are in good shape, we'll go ahead and tighten these nuts down as well. Then we'll head to the passenger side and do that exact same thing. Now it's time to put our tensioners into place. The one marked with the L is going to be mounted here on the driver's side. There's a kind of a slide bolt that's inside the track that runs here on the front of the cover. And we'll thread that right in. Just leave it loose for now. We may need to make an adjustment. And then we'll come down, take the one marked with an R, and install it here on the right side. We're now going to be able to set the cover right up onto the rails. Once it's seated in between the two rails there, we slide this forward. As you can see, that's going to keep the extra gasket here. That's going to keep that folded back under. That gives us a nice water protection point, dirt, debris, stuff like that. That's going to help eliminate that coming into the tonneau cover area. We'll now bring our adjustment bracket. We want to slide this over. Once we have our holes lined up, we're simply going to push the bolt down through, and we'll secure it with the nut here on the bottom. Now you'll want to push the cover and the rail forward and back to line up those holes. Don't adjust your tensioner. Now let's head over and do the same thing on the passenger side. We now want to tighten down both of the small bolts that we just put in. Let's go over to the driver's side and do the same thing. All right, now is the time that we want to line up our cover. What we want to do, you can see we've still got some left and right adjustment here. So we want to split that difference side to side. So what we're taking a look at is the small gap that's created between the front rail and the side rail. We can adjust this left and right a little bit to be sure we have that centered where we want it. All right, that looks good. We'll now reach right underneath here, and we're going to tighten up the front bolt on our tensioner, the one that we had actually connected to our cover. Now let's roll our cover back. And this is going to give us the opportunity to see how it fits here in the rear. Now as we roll this in, we're going to hook it in the end and then pull down. We want this to take about 20 or 30 pounds of force to get that down. That was about right. And now we'll just come around our outside. Fit those on. As you can see, we've got another kind of a storm flap situation here in the rear. All right, now let's lift up on our tailgate. What we're looking to see is this front edge tucking nicely underneath the cover. If that's not the case, let's see. Oh no, that works out perfectly. If that wasn't the case, if our tailgate didn't slide in the way we wanted it to, we'll just loosen up the two rear clamps here and raise that slightly to accommodate. And finally, we'll push the two small black catches over so they'll go under our rail for us. That's going to provide us with some additional security here at the rear. With it nice and tight, we're ready to head down the road. That'll complete today's look at the Access TonnoSport Soft Roll-Up Tonneau cover, part number A22020249. on our 2012 Chevrolet Colorado.